Hi there. My name is Bhairavi Koparkar and this is my presentation on my case study number 1 named Sandy for my career counseling and development course card 1060. Today I will be presenting an analysis of Sandy's career from two different perspectives. I will briefly introduce Sandy, his family and his career. I will then take you through two examples of career metaphors, career as cycles and career as fit. Each of these metaphors has its own relative strengths and weaknesses, and I will reflect on the same. I will also discuss the factors not accounted for by these perspectives. I will wrap up with some conclusions about the case. I will also reflect on which approach mentioned above explains the case better. To know Sandy better, I asked him to describe himself using a personal brand. I asked him to show me a quote image that will help the audience know how Sandy is. He showed me a picture of the sky and said, "For me, the sky has always been the limit for everything that I do." And after listening to his career story, I felt the same. Sandy is an optimistic man. He is a versatile man who likes to travel, play sports, read novels. He is also a national level cricket player and was a captain of his state team. Sandy was born in Delhi, India in 1965. He comes from a North Indian background. He lived in a higher middle class family. His mother was a professor in a well-reputed university in Delhi. His father was an engineer who worked at an international company. He has an elder sister who is settled in Canada. This encouraged him to immigrate to Canada and study there. Because Sandy's family was well educated and well paid, there was no financial pressure on him. He had freedom on everything he wished. He completed his schooling, high school and bachelor's from New Delhi, India. Sandy has been an intelligent and ambitious student since his childhood. He was the topper of his class for 5 consecutive years and was always good in academics. By looking at his grades, his family thought it was apparent of him to go into the medical field or to do engineering just like his father. But apart from being hardworking and having exceptional learning skills, he was also excellent in communication, public speaking, and problem solving. He was a multitasker and outstanding in social skills. And most importantly, he loved traveling to different countries and learn about their culture. All these skills made him opt in hospitality and tourism industry. He studied hotel management at the Institute of Hotel Management IHM in New Delhi for 3 years. After completing his bachelor's, he got a job at a reputed 5-star hotel chains in India. He worked as a front office assistant in Mumbai, India. By looking at his skills and abilities, he got promoted as a front office manager within 2 years. He carried out his roles and responsibilities ideally for 4 years. Later, as he gained good experience in the field, he realized that an international degree could help him achieve his desired job position. To gain an in-depth knowledge of the profession and international exposure, he moved to Canada in his mid-30s. Due to Sandy's excellent academic and career record, he got admission to one of the top universities in Canada. Instead of doing masters in hotel management, he completed his masters in industrial relations and human resources from the University of Toronto. He studied industrial relations and human resources because of his ability in customer service. There he ranked second in his program, which got him a job at one of the world's highly reputed 5-star hotel chains. He was hired as the rooms division manager and served his position for almost 5 years. As Sandy entered 40, he completed his master's in business administration in human resources management from Toronto. Simultaneously, he was also the learning and development manager in the same firm he worked in before. However, Sandy could not manage his work and academic life due to excessive pressure in both fields. He decided to quit his job and focused only on his MBA. This decision made him feel left out as he was always working since he was 21. Due to this and overthinking, he was diagnosed with depression and took counseling sessions while continuing his MBA. After all his struggles, he successfully completed MBA and decided to work as a human resources manager in Toronto. He got married and had 2 children. As Sandy was workaholic, he could not balance his life between work and family. Within 10 years of his marriage, he got divorced, leading him to mental issues. He was still struggling with depression after his divorce and could not focus on work. He decided to focus on his mental health and quit his job. Today, after all these happenings around, as Sandy enters his 50s, he never stops doing his other activities which he likes. He still reads novels, plays sports in his free time, and most importantly, he has accepted his mental issues and is working on getting cured. He is happy being unemployed and is confident that his experience, skills, knowledge will help him get a job whenever he wishes. Now that we understand Sandy's career history, we will begin to discuss Sandy's career cycle. A career cycle is perhaps just one facet of the broader life cycle. I asked Sandy if he could observe any cycles in his career, which was his perspective. He said the first cycle was the foundation. This was the cycle when he was in school, figuring out which field he wanted to make his career. The next cycle was the understanding of his interest and abilities. This cycle was when he decided to enter the tourism field. The next cycle Sandy identified was stability. In this cycle, he was well settled and stable in his career. For instance, his position as a front office manager. The fourth cycle was relearning. He decided to move to Canada and pursue a master's in Toronto. And he described his last cycle as recovery. This is when he is taking a break from his job and recovering from mental health. Now let's compare Sandy's career perspective to Donald Super's career theory. Super argues that occupational preferences and competencies along with an individual's life situations all change with time and experience. I believe that Sandy's perspective agrees with Donald Super's theory approach. The growth cycle when he was a child, exploration cycle when he went to the college and got his first job in a different city, establishment stage when he was an advancement or transfer to new or higher responsibility. This is where he became the front office and rooms division manager. It reflected on the past and future of his career and decided to move to Toronto and study further. Sandy is currently in his maintenance stage. He is in his 50s, reflecting on his career and deciding on continuing or necessary changes. And lastly, disengagement. Well, Sandy hasn't reached the age of 65, but there was a decline in his energy and work was not the prime aim of his career. Still, we cannot decide if the disengagement cycle is suitable for him or not. From Sandy's career story, the issues he faced in his overall career were he overworked. There were times when he did not even meet his family. This made him mentally stressed and emotionally draining. He could not even focus on his married life, which led him to divorce his wife. Sandy was overeducated and overqualified. Hence, he had very high expectations with his career. He was so confident about his academics and work life that he was not ready to accept that he needed a break when he could not focus on both. I asked Sandy some questions to reflect on his career journey. I asked him his thoughts about his career when he was younger. He said when he was younger, surprisingly, he had a choice to enter any field he wanted. In the 60s, when tourism was not a well-renowned field to work in, his parents supported and guided him. I asked him how that compares with his thoughts about his career now. He said that even though he is not working currently, he was proud of changing his field, getting 2 international degrees, and working at a highly reputed firm. He does not regret overthinking, but he realizes the importance of balancing work life and private life. And then I asked him if he can see any examples of mini cycles. He said he saw the cycle of learning and exploring from his work and academics. Let's look at Sandy's career through the lenses of a career as fit. John Holland proposed a theory that personality factors of an individual influence their career choices. They intend to work with people who have the same preference as them at work. They prefer a job where their present skill and abilities can be optimally used to improve their career graphs. At the same time, also be satisfied with their job performance. Holland describes 6 personality types that are visually represented by a hexagonal model. The types are realistic, who is the doer, investigative, who is the thinker, artistic, who is the creator, social, who is the helper, enterprising, who is the persuader, and lastly, conventional, who is the organizer. The types of personalities closest to each other on the hexagon have the most characteristics in common. I asked Sandy to take the personality test, and when I saw his results, I wasn't surprised. Knowing his knowledge, interest, and experience, my guess about his RISAC score would be somewhere near SEC. He was in customer service and liked to help people. Then I thought his second personality type would be enterprising. He wanted to lead his co-workers since he was a department manager. He was also energetic and ambitious about his work. And the last type was conventional, as Sandy was good with numbers and used to handle everyday finances of his department. But his result was ECS, which is not much different than what I guessed. On the right hand side, we can see the job occupations suitable for Sandy's personality type. As he was in customer service, he could have become a retail salesperson or customer service representative, which I believe would have also been a good career choice. The other personality codes near ECS were CES or SEC. The job occupations for these codes match his experience of being a hotel desk clerk or a receptionist clerk. Now let's look at the relative strengths and weaknesses of the two perspectives concerning Sandy's career. For strengths, both theories help to understand the patterns of Sandy's career from a different perspective. Super's theory considers that individuals change over time. It clears the framework for understanding various stages of development, while Holland's theory uses the strengths and skills and then applies them to his career. But with powers, there also come weaknesses. I believe both approaches have some invariable characteristics. Holland's theory has certain limitations. It doesn't include the possibility that people can change themselves and their environments. It doesn't link unity and outcomes such as satisfaction and performances. I also think another career metaphor can be used in Sandy's career story. I analyze career as inheritance. This metaphor emphasizes the predetermined outcomes passed on from our backgrounds and patterns. Inheritance is career resources that come into our past careers, such as our abilities, personality, gender, social environment, and education. We inherit these characteristics from our parents or elsewhere. From Sandy's case study, some significant factors impacted his career decisions and career development. As his highly educated parents, he inherited some exceptional skills and abilities. He had freedom in whatever he did. Hence, he explored numerous activities in childhood. Because of his good social background, his family traveled to many new destinations. Due to this, he fell in love with different countries. He was eager to go to other places and learn different things. All these factors like education, childhood, family, background, his parents, occupation made him choose this career field. Today, as we have seen Sandy's career story using metaphors such as career as cycles, career as fit, and career as inheritance. Each metaphor has its own unique characteristics, strengths, and weaknesses. I'm excited and eager to learn more metaphors and apply the same using other case studies. To conclude, I would like to remind everyone that keep the sky as your limit. Achieve all the things you wish to desire, but always remember that everything in life has to have some balance. Thank you.